The day Adaeze walked into her husband's newly opened office building in Victoria Island, Lagos, her knees nearly gave out. The marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers, and everywhere she looked, employees in crisp suits hurried past with tablets and briefcases. A massive portrait hung in the lobby showing Chukwudi Okafor, her husband of 8 years, shaking hands with the governor. Beneath it, gold letters spelled out, Okafor Industries, celebrating 15 years of excellence. 15 years. Her hands trembled as she clutched her handbag. They had only been married for 8, which meant everything, all of it, had existed long before she ever met him. Before she mocked his old Toyota. Before her mother called him a useless man who couldn't afford to buy meat. Before her brothers laughed at his worn-out shoes and refused to greet him at family gatherings. "Madam, do you have an appointment?" The receptionist's voice cut through her shock. Adaeze opened her mouth, but no words came out.
How could they?
How do you explain that the man everyone called a nobody, the man you just divorced 3 months ago because he couldn't provide the lifestyle you wanted, was actually this? The security guard moved toward her, and she stumbled backward, her vision blurring with tears.
I
need to see Mr. Okafor, she whispered. Mr. Okafor is in a meeting with international investors. Unless you have an appointment, I cannot let you through. International investors. The words felt like slaps across her face. This was the same man who used to take public buses. The same man her family had spat on. The same man she had finally left because he refused to make something of himself. But as Adaeze stood there, watching employees treat his name with reverence, one question burned through her mind like fire. Who exactly had Chukwudi Okafor been all along, and why had he hidden everything from her? 8 years earlier, Adaeze had been the most beautiful girl in her village near Enugu. At 23, with smooth dark skin and eyes that sparkled like the night sky, she had suitors lined up at her father's compound every weekend. Rich men came with their Land Cruisers and promises of luxury. But it was Chukwudi, the quiet man who came on foot, who captured her heart. He was different from the others. He listened when she spoke about her dreams of owning a boutique someday. He brought her mother fresh vegetables from the market without being asked. He helped her younger siblings with their homework, never complaining, never seeking praise. When he proposed under the Udala tree behind her house, she said yes without hesitation. This one has nothing, her mother had warned. Look at his clothes. Look at how he comes here, walking like a common man. Where is his car? Where is his big job? Mama, he has a good heart, Adaeze had replied. Money is not everything. Her mother had sucked her teeth. A good heart will not feed my grandchildren. But Adaeze was in love, and love made her deaf to warnings. They married in a small ceremony that Chukwudi paid for with his savings. Her family complained throughout, comparing their modest wedding to the elaborate celebrations their neighbors had. Still, Adaeze smiled through it all. She believed their love would be enough. The problems started slowly. Chukwudi worked as an accountant at a small firm, bringing home a modest salary. They lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in a quiet part of Lagos. Nothing fancy, but clean and comfortable. Adaeze didn't mind at first. She got a job at a local salon and contributed to their expenses. But then her friends started getting married. Ngozi married a banker who bought her a car within 6 months. Chioma's husband built her a 4-bedroom house in Lekki. Every weekend, there was a new party, a new celebration, a new opportunity for Adaeze to see what she didn't have. When will Chukwudi buy you a car? Her friends would ask, their eyes pitying. When will you people move to a better neighborhood? Her mother demanded during visits. Chukwudi never complained about the insults. When Adaeze's brothers visited and made jokes about his poor man's lifestyle, he simply smiled and served them drinks. When her mother came for Christmas and openly criticized everything from their furniture to their small television, he nodded politely and said he was doing his best. Why don't you defend yourself? Adaeze asked him one night after a particularly brutal family dinner. Her uncle had just left after suggesting Chukwudi wasn't man enough to take care of his wife properly. Chukwudi looked at her with those calm eyes that had first made her fall in love. What would you like me to say, Ada? Anything. Tell them you're working hard. Tell them we're saving for our future. Tell them something. Would it change how they see me? He asked quietly. She had no answer for that. The breaking point came on their 7th anniversary. Adaeze had hinted for months about wanting a big celebration, maybe a trip to Dubai like her friend Blessing had taken. Instead, Chukwudi brought her flowers and a simple gold bracelet. This is it. The words escaped her mouth before she could stop them. 7 years, and this is all you can manage? Something flickered in his eyes. Pain, maybe. Or disappointment. I thought you would like it. I chose it myself. Chukwudi, I'm tired. The words tumbled out like water from a broken dam. I'm tired of being the wife everyone pities. I'm tired of my family asking me why I'm still with you. I'm tired of living like this when everyone around us is moving forward. What do you want me to do, Ada? Be more ambitious. Fight for something. My friends' husbands are building houses, buying land, investing in business. What are you building? Nothing. Chukwudi stood up slowly. For the first time in their marriage, he looked truly tired.
I see.
So this is about what other people have. It's about what we don't have, she shouted. He picked up his car keys, those keys to the old Toyota her family mocked endlessly. I'm going for a drive. We'll talk when we're both calmer.
But they never really talked after that night.
The distance between them grew like a river during rainy season, wider and deeper until neither could cross it. Her family's pressure intensified. Her mother visited weekly with newspaper clippings about successful businessmen, making pointed comments about how Adaeze had wasted her beauty on poverty. Finally, after 8 years of marriage, Adaeze packed her bags. I can't do this anymore, Chukwudi. I want a divorce. He didn't fight her. He didn't beg. He simply nodded and said, if that's what will make you happy, Ada, then okay. His calmness infuriated her even more. Even in this, he wouldn't fight. He signed the papers without protest, divided their modest savings equally, and helped her move her things back to her mother's house. Her family celebrated like she had escaped prison. 3 months later, Adaeze's friend Ifeoma called, her voice shaking with excitement. Ada, you need to see what I just saw on the business news. Is your ex-husband named Chukwudi Okafor? That's when Adaeze's world shattered. That's when she learned the truth that would haunt her forever. Chukwudi hadn't been poor at all. The news report played on every channel. Chukwudi Okafor, CEO of Okafor Industries, had just signed a partnership deal worth billions of naira with an international tech company. The business had been running successfully for 15 years, operating across West Africa in manufacturing and technology. But Chukwudi, the report explained, had always maintained an extremely private personal life, keeping his business identity completely separate from his home life. Adaeze watched the footage with trembling hands. There was her ex-husband, confident and articulate, speaking about expansion plans and job creation. The same man who had silently endured her family's mockery was being interviewed by international journalists. The same man her brothers had called useless was shaking hands with governors and ministers. Her mother's face went pale when Adaeze showed her. This cannot be the same Chukwudi. This must be a different person with the same name. But it wasn't. The photographs were clear. That was her husband. Her ex-husband. Adaeze discovered more each day. The old Toyota he drove? He owned 3 luxury cars parked in a private garage in Ikoyi. The modest salary from the accounting firm? That was just a cover, a way to stay grounded while his actual company thrived. The small apartment they lived in? He owned a mansion in Banana Island that he had never mentioned. The most painful discovery came from his former secretary, who Adaeze tracked down in desperation. Mr. Okafor planned to tell you everything on your 10th anniversary, the woman revealed. He wanted to be sure you loved him for who he was, not what he had. He'd seen too many marriages destroyed by money. He said he was testing whether you could weather storms together before revealing that the storms were never real. But my family, Adaeze whispered. They treated him so badly. The secretary's expression hardened.
Yes.
And he endured it all for you. Every insult, every humiliation. He told me once that he kept hoping you would defend him, that you would say his character mattered more than his bank account. But you never did. Now, standing in his office building, Adaeze finally got past the reception. But when she entered Chukwudi's office, she found him exactly as she remembered, calm and composed, though dressed now in an expensive suit that fit him perfectly. "Ada," he said simply. "Why?" The question burst from her. "Why didn't you tell me?" Chukwudi leaned back in his leather chair. "I wanted a wife who would stand by me in what she thought were hard times. Someone who would defend me to her family not because of what I had, but because of who I was." He paused, his eyes meeting hers with devastating clarity. "You couldn't even do that when you thought I was just a simple accountant. What would you have become if you'd known about all this?" Adaeze felt tears streaming down her face. "I made a mistake. We can start over. I understand now." "No, Ada." His voice was gentle but final. "You understand money now. You never understood me." He stood up, signaling the meeting was over. "I've transferred some money to your account. Enough to start that boutique you always dreamed about. Consider it a parting gift. I genuinely hope you find happiness." As security escorted her out, Adaeze realized the crushing truth. She hadn't just lost a husband. She had lost a man who loved her enough to live humbly for 8 years, hoping she would see his worth beyond material things. A man who had endured humiliation silently, believing their love would eventually triumph over her family's pressure and society's expectations. By the time she reached the street, her phone was ringing. Her mother, her brothers, all of them suddenly wanting to know if she could arrange a meeting with Chukwudi, if maybe there was a chance for reconciliation, if perhaps the divorce wasn't truly final. Adaeze turned off her phone and walked into the Lagos evening, carrying the weight of a lesson learned too late. Sometimes the treasure you're searching for has been in your hands all along, and you only realize it after you've thrown it away. Now, before we end, I want to hear from you. Have you ever judged someone too quickly based on what they had rather than who they were? What would you have done if you were in Adaeze's position? Would you have stood by Chukwudi despite your family's pressure? Drop your answers in the comments below. I really want to know what you think about this story. And where are you watching this from? Comment your country or city below. Let's see how far this story reaches across the world. If this story touched your heart or taught you something valuable, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our stories. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe true wealth is found in character, not just bank accounts. And please, share this with your friends and family because someone out there needs to hear this message today. Remember, respect and loyalty cannot be bought with money, but they can be lost because of it. See you in the next story. Retry.